Dichotomy of Control. Sounds extremely simple, but it's incredibly powerful and it's very difficult to actually execute it in daily life. And it basically says this: there are certain things that are up to us. It's our values, it's our decisions, it's how we react to things. And everything else is not up to us. So let's talk about Stoic philosophy and we'll get to that. I mean, the Stoic philosophy is a 2,000-year-old philosophy that started in the ancient Greece and then moved to Rome. What I really loved about it, when I discovered it, it's almost like I suddenly got this operating system for life. There was no religion attached to it. It helped me figure out how to deal with daily life. And one of the key concepts, there's a lot of lessons there, but the one that really sucked me into it was the Dichotomy of Control. And the Dichotomy of Control sounds extremely simple, but it's incredibly powerful and it's very difficult to actually execute it in daily life. And it basically says this: there are certain things that are up to us. It's our values, it's our decisions, it's how we react to things. And everything else is not up to us. So what does it mean? Well, that means that basically we should spend our energy only focusing on things that are up to us. And when things that are not up to us, either the street lights that come up when you drive into work, or your neighbor being rude to you, or your coworker being rude to you, whatever, you basically treat it as things you can control, and you train yourself to basically dismiss them, or just focusing on your reaction, but not let it get to you. In other words, you're trying to control the things you can control. By the way, that applies to investing so much. That's probably like Stoicism should be taught at the second class of value investing, right after margin of safety. Because all you can do is focus on the process. Okay, try to get better at valuing companies. Study management, set on you have in your process in decision making. How the market is going to price them on a daily basis, completely not up to you. Therefore, not being obsessed about it and upset about it is paramount. I just wrote about this. 2024 was a very mediocre year for us, and I gotta tell you how unfazed I was by that. Not because I don't care, just because I look at my portfolio and our companies fundamentally have done well, but the market intention was somewhere else. And therefore, the market have not chosen to price my stocks appropriately, at least what I think. And you know what? That's absolutely fine with me. And that's an example of kind of applying this philosophy to your life. Let's talk about Epictetus, where he said, wealth comes from what you have. What is wealth? It's basically assets minus liabilities, right? You can argue that your wants are your liability and what's left is your equity. Or you could look from income statement perspective. Your wants are expressed as your expenses. If you basically want very little, because you could always do a lot more than you earn. If you earn $100,000, you could always have a wants for $150,000. And if you earn $1 million, you could always, have a wants for $1.5 million. So if you just have a simple lifestyle where your wants are, you don't appreciate what you have, then your equity is going to be higher, your expenses are going to be lower than your revenues, and you always going to have things left over. Like in my case, when we chose, like, as I mentioned, live in an old house or buy used cars, I taught myself to be very happy, driving a 12-year-old car. And I was absolutely fine with that. And it didn't bother me because I didn't really care what people thought about my car. By the way, there was an interesting idea here too. A lot of times we link our identity to things we own. I was thinking about this because let's say you buy a brand new car and people start complimenting you on this car. What are they really complimenting? All you did, you just wrote a check and might have gotten huge debt to buy this car. But really, you did absolutely nothing to create that car. Elon Musk or Tesla engineers could be proud of Tesla. But you should not be proud of driving Tesla car, okay? So I think one way to get there is to wonder what you have, is kind of to divorce your identity from owning material things. But this is a true story. I said all these things, but about 6 years ago, I did buy myself a new car. It was a Tesla Model 3. It was new because I couldn't buy used. So I bought a new car. And I remember looking at my Tesla Model 3 and looking at my friend's 1-year-old Honda Accord, they're next to each other. And I remember feeling this feeling of envy to him. You would argue, why? You would ask, why? Because he did not have to worry where he's going to park this car. He did not have to worry about the dents. And this is when I realized that we don't own things. Those things own us.
True.
And this is where I realized how little we should really attach our identity to owning these things. Hey, thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more about life, classical music, philosophy, and investing, make sure to subscribe to my articles and visit investor.fm. Thank you.